Hi, I'm Cindy Dixon, Education Specialist at the Springs Preserve. It's a beautiful time of year to start your garden. Today we're going to talk about the 3 simple steps to gardening success. They are healthy soil, healthy seeds or starts, and healthy systems. Let's start with my favorite, healthy soils. What is soil anyway? It's minerals, organic matter, living organisms otherwise known as the soil food web, air, and water. I like to think of it as this popcorn ball. The popcorn represents the minerals. You've got the gaps in there for all the organisms, the roots, and the water to go through. And what holds it together is the corn syrup, which is like our organic matter. It gives soil structure. Well, what does it look like? It should be dark brown, crumbly, and somewhat moist with a beautiful earthy smell, similar to a chocolate muffin, except it doesn't smell earthy. Also, soil is full of life. If you look at our soil here, I've got worms, I've got some roly-polies, some little ants, and all kinds of great things. The more life you have in the soil, the healthier it is. How do you make soil? Well, just know that it is a process. You need to start with soil mix, compost, and I use worm castings as my organic fertilizer. Mix it in a wheelbarrow. I use 2 to 3 parts of my soil mix, 1 to 2 parts of my compost, and 1 part of my organic matter. You want to mix it, adding water at the same time just to make sure that it stays moist and doesn't have a lot of dust flying around. You don't want it too wet because it's hard to plant your seeds and seedlings in there. Then smell it. See, once again, it's that nice dark brown crumbly. Just remember that 80% of garden problems are related to soil issues. So if you have healthy soil, you'll have healthy plants and you'll be healthy at the same time. So don't treat soil like dirt. The next step is healthy seeds or healthy starts. And it just depends on what you like. I typically like seeds because you can get a wide variety of seeds either in the stores or ordering them online. And you do have to wait a little bit longer for the harvest, but the seeds are acclimated if you directly sow them into the soil. Now, seeds come in a variety of sizes and shapes, but the typical rule of thumb is to plant the seeds 2 times the depth of the width. Now, as you can see with these chard seeds, it's pretty small. So if you're just sprinkling them on your garden, it's very hard to see and you're not sure where you're planting them. Over the years, we've learned a kind of different way to do it. I use a PVC pipe, but you can use anything. You make like a little rut or a trench, if you will. Add some toilet paper. I know that's hard to spare during these times, but don't worry, it'll disintegrate, and plus it will mark your plants. Spritz it just to make sure that the toilet paper is kind of moist, and then you can sprinkle your seeds on the toilet paper. That way you can see where the seeds are going and you get that kind of right spacing instead of all of them being right there in that clump. Then what you need to do is add a little bit of soil on top. You're not going to add a lot because remember it's 2.5 times that. Now the important thing is to lightly tamp the soil. That way the soil and the seed make contact. And last, what you need to do is add a name tag. Place what you're planting and the date. Then once again, you'll need to spritz it with water and you're good to go. Now if you have larger seeds, like these peas, you don't need to go through quite that much. You can poke a hole. Remember, it's 2 times poke a hole. Use your finger, that seems easier for me. You can also use a marked chopstick or a pencil. Place your seeds in the holes. And just like with your smaller seeds, you add the soil on top. Make sure you tamp it down again. Add your plant tags. And then you will be watering. Now with the bigger seeds, you'll need to water a little bit more because the water needs to get down to those deeper seeds. And there you go for that. Now, if you're going to plant seedlings or little plants, then you need to know how to find a healthy one for yourself. Check for any kind of damage on the plant. Are there yellow leaves, or is there insects eating on it? Check to see if there are roots coming out of the base. If the roots are coming out of the base, then that means that the plant has been in there way too long and it's going to go through some trauma when it's being transplanted. This one is way too many roots. This plant could go through a lot of problems with that. So in order to plant, you need to dig your hole a little bit deeper and a little bit wider than what the soil is. Now I know we're using a wheelbarrow today, but just for purposes, we'll show it. Carefully take the plant out now and check. You want to make sure that the soil on top of your plant is even with the garden soil. Then what you do is crackle the roots. That helps to stimulate new root growth. Add it in, add your soil, and gently tamp around that too to make sure that you get rid of all the air pockets. You don't want to press too hard because that'll compress the soil. I like to make a basin when I do this. That way it really directs the water to the plant. Water it. Check to see if there's any places like right here where the water has gone down. You want to even it up a little bit. Clean off the leaves. Add your plant tag and you're good to go. Now the last step is healthy systems, and that's just another way to say daily routine. You don't want to do binge gardening where you just do it once a week. Go out and spend your morning before you go to work looking at your garden. Take your cup of coffee or your juice or something. See your plants. Be out in nature. Are there insects coming in? Is it too wet? Is it too dry? You'll be able to nip any kind of potential problems in the bud because you're out there on a daily routine. So there you have your 3 steps: healthy soil, healthy seeds, healthy systems. So happy growing. Hope to see you soon when we open again. Thank you.